hey, 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 hey. So hopefully y'all can hear us, y'all can see us. Let us know in the chat if you guys can. I'm seeing stuff already pop up. Love to see it. Okay. I have it right here too, y'all. So give me like 1 second. And then let me also do this because there we go. So we can better see us. Okay. And hey, Brennan got the notification. That's what's up. Thank you, Brennan, for joining in. And two, I want to first say hi to you guys and say welcome back to my channel. Also, I have to do some introductions because you were like, I'm seeing new faces. I know, I know. So today I am brought and met with my husband, Leroy Carr, Royal Mac, and Sons Inspired. Hey, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so just so y'all know, this event is actually a 24-hour live stream that we're doing on Clubhouse, and we're doing my segment here on YouTube as well, so you guys can see us. And we're going to be talking about love, probably about some finances, and all the in betweens. So it's going to be a good time, but like I said, we're doing two things at once. We can see the live chat. We will be interacting with you. You are more than enough. And like I said, we're here to talk about what is love. And right now, like I said, I'm just waiting for my turn to go up because we don't start until like another minute from now. But I'd rather be ready than have to, get ready. Highly probable. Yes, 24 hours, Brennan. Absolutely. Okay.
We need to.
Oh, we can't really see the top half. Hey, 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 hey.
No, they can't see us, sweetheart.
That's why I moved it, my baby. Oh, we're also on YouTube, y'all. So sorry, we're making sure things are seeable. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay, can you guys see us better now? I'm hoping that's a yes. We'll probably see in a second. So, for the ones that are on Clubhouse, we're going to already get the party started because the party has already been started by Miss Malika K. Courtney and Scott with the yacht and Devlin and Arrows. And this, I'll say 2 hour block. Yes, we're going to continue talking about what is love because this is Love Fest. But we're also here to talk about love and finances. Why? Because that's a part about being in a relationship and building that muscle of love. There's also a financial side of love. And so we've come here today, me, my husband Leroy, aka Royal Mac, as well as Sance, as we currently have on stage on Clubhouse. He is my co-host. We're here to talk about just that. So, with all that being said, do you guys want to introduce yourselves and I'll introduce myself after?
You go ahead, sir.
Sans, Leroy said the ball's in your court.
All right. Let me we doing two things at once, so I gotta unmute both. So I'll be real brief. My name is Sance Inspire. I'm a guide generating, uplifting, inspiring, developing, and empowering you to, if you can see my shirt, live inspired every day forever, because that's life. And what that simply means is I help individuals who are dealing with loss to overcome loss. Because once we understand that loss is a part of our story and it is a lesson that we need to learn from, once we extract that lesson, we can get straight to the blessings. So
I love that, sir. Leroy, can you introduce yourself?
What is going on, everyone? My name is Leroy Cart. I am the other half of Surete. On YouTube, you guys could find me on as Royal Mech. I primarily deal with trading card games over on that side, but when I do assist the lovely wife, I assist her when we talk about relationships and how to maneuver through those things.
You, Leroy. I greatly appreciate you. So, me. Hi, my name is Sharente Carr, and I'm your abundant bestie. Literally, I do the most, but I do the most so I could be the host and bring you more knowledge, more love, more relaxation in your mind because you learned something new. That's the bestie that I am. So, what does that mean? I do tech. I'm a marketer. I do influencing. I do all the in betweens. And one thing that I love to do is to teach and be me. So, with that being said, my lovely two that are going to help me host today's conversation is my first question to you, just to start out our hour, because in the last 2 hours, they were sharing what is love to them. So I'm going to ask you to start our segment. What is love to you guys? And Sans, I'm going to start with you again because I have a feeling he's going to tell me to start with you.
That's fine. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. So to me, I think that that's changed. So if I can, I'll say what I used to think it was and then what it is now. So before I thought love was like all the sentimental things you see in all the Disney movies and the flowers and the candy and like just happiness. Nothing ever goes wrong. Now what I see love as is it's more so like a culmination of things. It's not just the sunshine, but it's the storms too. It's like being able um to weather the storms, I guess I'll say. More so, instead of me seeing it as something outward that I need to be in love with someone else, searching for that external, I see love now as the internal, where once you are able to fully dive into that and begin to love yourself for real, you start to see it everywhere. So it's an acceptance of self and then an expression outward.
I absolutely love that. And I love how your love has progressed because that's something that love does. Love changes over time in a way that it's felt even deeper. So I love to hear that. Now I'm going to ask you, Mr. Leroy, Hubby Boo, what is love to you?
Well, I will put it this way, especially in today's climate, a lot of people, I don't think fully, well, my understanding of love is completely different. Um, I look at love as a action word. I look at it more of a verb than just a state of being because you can't say you love somebody and then there's no action behind what you're saying. You can't say you love someone and then the first time they get on your nerves, they're ready to leave. You can't say you love somebody and when they mess up, you aren't trying to work through the mess ups, be it on your end or on their end. I don't see love having a condition because if love is conditional, then true love cannot exist because then that condition is always fleeting. Being married with my lovely wife has made my understanding of love a lot stronger in the sense of we are standing proof that you have to you have to put love into action, not just a phrase. Because a lot of people now do this quick one, don't make love a conditional thing. I will love you if you meet X, Y, and Z. Things change, but love shouldn't. You can fall back, but you can re-fall in love with somebody. But that is just more of a trigger. That's not the state. I could fall in love with my wife again every day. That just makes what the state I'm in with her though already stronger. And I show that love I have for her every day, from when I wake up, making sure she's okay with food, making sure she has her coffee, making sure if there's something I need to run to do before I even start my day, it gets handled, even at a detriment. Because I would more, my love for her puts her ahead of me when in regards to what I feel, and I hope she does feel how much I love her daily.
Thank you so much for your answer, and I'm doing my best, y'all, not to cry because I didn't bring tissues next to me. Oh my god. So thank you so much. Um, oh my, just give me like 1 second, y'all. So, love to me, yes, it's what it says in the Bible. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not boast, love does not keep record of wrong. Love to me is actively choosing to also take care of myself, actively choosing to also make sure that in taking care of myself, I also think of you and Bandit and my family in that order. Just be very transparent in that order because there's a priority. There's a priority because I can't make everyone one. I would love to, but that's not a really rational thing. So it's me, it's you, it's the dog, and then everybody else. And I can say, yes, love is an action, but it goes to me also deeper than an action. It also goes into thinking about what will happen if that person is also no longer here. Did you make sure to make all the miracles that you would have wanted to make with that person? For you, what did you finish everything that you said that you wanted to do in this life? Did you express the love as far and as wide as you wanted to express it? And love is more than lip service. Yes, it is also action, but it's also in your being and who you are. And I believe that everyone can return back to love. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. That's what love is to me. And I could also say is that my next thing that I'm going to bring up is finances. And I'm bringing up finances because a lot of people don't realize that love is also within our finances.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question that I have on the table, and I'll be checking the chat as well for Clubhouse. This is the question on the table, and it is, what does love look like in your finances? That is the next question. And I'm going to actually give choice this time. Who wants to take this first?
I will actually take this one first.
Okay. Leroy.
I would say, because we actually be experiencing it, loving your finances, and I'll put it in this sense to start. Um, Being in a relationship, especially married, does not mean our finances are linked, but our finances go towards the same goal. What I mean by that is normal behavior is when you get married, you set up the family account, and that's where all the money pools. Um, that's not realistic anymore because everybody knows how the economy is going, and that just starts a whole nother hubbub. But you should be still aiming towards the same goal in the household. Your family should be able to know if something's going wrong, both sides are ready to go towards it to get things handled. Um, you should be making sure your funds are going towards making your spouse happy as well as yourself. Be even if you're scheduling date nights to make sure you're still keeping the connection, or just bringing a gift or something the other likes, from flowers to food, or even a board game to just mix things up, right? Um, and that's just the starting point. It also does come with openness, though, too. You should be willing to express, especially in the dating phase. If you are looking to date the person you're with for marriage, you should be willing and able to sit there and say, so here's what my finances look like with what I do, um, be it in my casual time as well as in my needed bills. Because if you do end up in a strong relationship, move in together, how some people do ahead of getting married, that's the kind of stuff that will affect long term. Example, when we got together, um, we actually did share our financial statuses with each other to actually a good degree. Um, she knew I had some debts. They weren't massive, but she saw I had some debts, and she was actually caught off guard how well I was doing with those with debts. Primarily, they were payday loans, but she was actually caught off guard how well I was doing with those debts around over my head, to where I was still taking her out on dates, buying her gifts and things like that. She was almost like, "How are you pulling that off and still having money?" But it was neither here nor there. But we were open. Um, so she understood where I stood. I understood where she stood, and so we were able to come up with game plans overall. Communication is honestly the biggest form of love, and it shows itself more when you're dealing with relationships and finances.
That's a great answer. Sorry, y'all. If y'all are looking at my YouTube and seeing my face, you're like, Journey's just an awesome. I am. Because I am. I'm sorry. Give me a fall in love with him all over again. Lord have mercy on my spirit and soul. Sance, it's your time to go. See how I did that?
I like that. I also, as he was talking, like I like this dynamic because we're talking about love, we're talking about finances, we're talking about life, and we get the perspectives that are different. Because as you see two on the screen, you see one on the screen. So I don't have the same relation to this question. Um, Yet I have a similar relation to this question. So for me, what is finances, or what does love look like in finances? It looks like accountability. It looks like ownership. It looks like access. It looks like control. And what I mean by that is um, they mine. I own, it's my finances. So I have to not only, a lot of times it's like, yes, I'm single. I don't have to share with anybody. I can just do whatever I want with my money. Yes, you can. And you have to own that too. You have to own that. That's why you ain't got no money. Right after you get paid, you got to own up to, that's why you behind on your bills. You have to own up to, unlike what we just heard, you're struggling with debts. We have to own up to that because I am the owner of that account. And that goes into that accountability. Being accountable for my finances was something that I didn't even know about it. It didn't even exist to me. It was like ghosts. Is that a real thing? I might have saw one before, but I don't know. I can't trust it. So keep spinning. Let's splurge. I mean, what? I just got paid again. As soon as I get paid, I forget about debts and accountability. It's like more money. Okay, then it's gone. And then I'm thinking again, damn it, I need more money to need more money, because if I had more money, then I could need more money. And it's just this cycle that was like, that just kept going. And I had to stop for a minute because it was, I wanted to create, money creates access in our mind. Yet, if you're not accountable, what you're accessing is not positive, it's negative. You're not going up, you're going down. So you're not accessing freedom, you're accepting debt, right? Accessing debt. So for me, I had to really recognize that, number one, I actually was making more than I thought. Or no, let me flip that around. I was spending more than I thought. I didn't know that you could spend more than you make. I didn't know that was a thing. I said, no, if I only make $500, I can only spend 500. You can make $500 and somehow spend 1,200 and be like, wait, huh? And this is what kept me in this chokehold. It was like, I cannot get out of this. But again, when we are, the funny thing about us as human beings is when we stressing, we will search for all the right answers. When we receive the answer, oh, we ain't stressing no more. We good. You didn't even fix the problem. It's just like, whatever, I can not worry about that. So I had to really take that accountability to understand what I was doing with my money so that I can gain more control. And so now that looks like a relationship, me understanding my relationship with money, how to nurture it, how to care for it. Now I think that that is allowing me to cultivate more of it, because I may mess this saying up, but I just heard something, and I was told something before by a mentor. It was like how something about money is a dang it, money is a something mistress. Like she likes to be utilized, like she likes to be taken care of. She doesn't want to just sit around. And a lot of times what I was doing was I was holding on to it, like I didn't want to let it go. I was so afraid. And it's like, no, you have to be able to let that go, because when they say if you let it go and it comes back, that's really about money. When you're able to let it go and see it come back, you're starting to understand that cycle. And for me, that helped me begin to understand more relationships, because even in those relationships, I was kind of holding on to things too tight. And it's like, hey, look, you gotta let it go. You're smothering me. And so now we free. We are owners. We are accountable for our actions. We create access, and now we have more control over our day-to-day life when it comes to finances. Now we're on here to work on that other half. So I can be on here with my spouse, talk about, oh my God, Shrinte, where you go? Where should Shrinte go? Okay. I forgot
Nice.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
Shrink
10
does
hats on.
production, so we don't have echoes and stuff. Because we would have echoes. And the picture quality, I'm trying to make it better. So, don't mind me and my moving shenanigans. Okay. But I will say this. So, Leroy had his answer. Now I'm going to give you my answer. Because our answers similar but different, because two people are going to have different perspectives on things. Something that I can say when it comes to love and finances is I actually shared this in the last 2 hours, which was me and my husband did some things today that we actually have done some amazing things in this marriage period. So I'll first say this is that yes, in dating, we were super intentional. Date two, we identified and clarified that we were dating for marriage, because a lot of couples will not tell each other what the objective of the relation or situationship is. And that is just so unfair and so like weird. Remember, clear is kind, Brene Brown. Okay. So without that being said, we made sure things were clear. We made sure things were kind. And how we went about it was we thought in month 2 we were going to buy a house. That's how we started the thing. He didn't tell y'all that. So when we said we have pulled all of our finances, if you have ever tried to buy a house and actually bought a house, then you know how detailed the finances that they pulled were. So yeah, he had payday loans, but your girl over here had like 13 credit cards and like $30,000 of student loan. Okay. But I can say this, as a single person, I told myself that I refuse to go above a brand new Toyota Camry. And at that time, the Toyota Camry I was looking at was $30,000. So I told myself for student loans, I don't want to go above that. Went above that because of interest, but I literally stayed to the $30,000. And this is before I met my husband. And while I got with my husband, I was finishing up my associate's degree. So I'm going to start with that. Secondly, is that I had health issues. A lot of people don't talk about that, but having health issues, finances, and relationships, that all plays into one together. Because in your health, if you're having unhealthy moments, I'm gonna call them moments, then your finances are going to look a little bit different than someone that is healthier that doesn't have those financial obligations. If you feel me. So I would say that was also on the table. So when we're thinking finances, we have to think about the entire picture. And now I'm going to explain why me and him got married so fast, because I explained this to my family. Because I don't understand Sharente. And I said, when you have faced death's door, like I have multiple times, you realize that you have only so much time. Your time is finite. So it's either you make the decision now or you move past it because you're wasting time. We have finite time. So I said, he's everything 100% on my list. I'll say that one more time. He was everything 100%. I'm going to say that one more time. He was everything 100% on my list. And please know, it wasn't about the silly materialistic things because those things can grow. It was about his character traits. I can't teach character traits. I can teach on skills, but I can't teach character traits. It's that soft skills that he already had to have. It's the financial stability he already had to have. It was the man of God he already had to be. If you guys feel me, that's what I wanted him to be. 6 figures, well, I don't care about all that. That's superfluous because that goes up, that goes down. It depends on if you make a bad trade or not, literally within seconds. So he was everything on my list. That happened. And now let's get to why we got married within 3 days. So what had happened was he came to me and had the audacity to say, my job is going to, I have to work on my mouth. It's going to cost $1,000. I said, what? He said, yeah, but not like that, Sharente. It's only 1K, not G. And I said, okay, but that's still way, 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 way too much. We were making, he was out around like 40,000. I was making around 40,000. That was still a lot of money because we were both taking care of our families too at the exact same time, which is why we were in the debt that we were in, because we wanted to make sure everyone was getting fed. Everyone was taken care of. We were one of the caregivers when it came to the finances. So when he said that, I said, how I get you on my insurance legally? Because we all about reading that fine print. So I, Sharente, went to the employee handbook and it said, you must marry this person for them to be on your benefits. I said, hold my beer. And I got on one knee and I proposed to him on the second floor of his parents' house. And he said, this is awkward, but yes. And I said, thank you. He said, let me go get the ring. And he got up. He went to go get the ring because he always was going to go propose to me. And it was his mom's ring. And I was so thankful and grateful because for me, I didn't want a brand new wedding ring. I don't need you to spend $10,000, 5 paychecks, none of that silly stuff. That's not required of me. But a family heirloom? Priceless. Priceless. But at the same time, I realized during our actual marriage, I wanted my own ring. And I currently have it from Pandora, and I love her. She didn't cost, I think she cost like around $200. And the reason is because you can lose rings. You can also gain weight and not fit rings. And the thing is that resizing does cost money. And we save on that money by just buying more inexpensive rings. We know that we're married. This is just an outward symbol to everybody else that I'm married. And so we didn't really focus on, like I said, the superfluous stuff. We focused on really building. So even though we got married within 3 days, I want y'all to guess how much money we spent for the wedding and honeymoon. I'm gonna wait. How much? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna check the chat. Some of my friends already know this. How much did we spend? I just want y'all to guess. How much dinero? If someone guesses this right that doesn't already know the answer, I will actually be shocked. Let's see. Let's see. Does anyone have a guess? Sance, do you want to try to guess?
$300.
That is actually really close. Someone said $1,000. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all it again. Hold my beer. Are y'all ready? $600. Not 600,000. $600. Wedding and honeymoon. All of it together. One weekend. Us together. Why? You need to discount. So I had Groupon at the time, a student discount. So I went ahead. I was like, we just need to legally sign the paperwork. Our family said, no, you can only marry once. You must have a ceremony. So the people pleasers we said, okay, we'll do it. Not realizing that our family outside of them were going to do that. We didn't know that. But we did it. And I'm so thankful and grateful because many people, the average, which I think is a crazy stat, for a wedding, not a honeymoon, just a wedding, is $10,000 per ceremony. That is a lot of money. That is a brand new, more inexpensive car. Okay.
My brother got cheaper. My brother still got under the barricade. He got $7. He did it they did it in $7,000, and that was even with their reception too.
$7,000 is still a lot. I'm gonna throw that out there. To me, it didn't make any sense. I knew when I got married, I wanted to start with not having a financial burden like that. Some people take out loans, and then some people get stood up at the altar after having taken out a loan with that other person, which is a wild concept, but that happens. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. We want to start where we are. Where we are, 600 is affordable. So that's where we started. And from there, I can say we own a house. Today, we just bought a timeshare, which I'm really excited about because y'all, I didn't know we'll ever be like dreams are becoming a reality because of the fact that we literally started small to then go bigger. You don't have to start big and then go small. You should start small and build it up because being in a relationship expedites your growth and allows you guys to grow in the safest manner together. And I realized for me that even though technically I'm the breadwinner, that means technically I make more money than him. And he said he's fine with it because we had ever talked about this before.
Our career paths are completely different. For all you out there, it's being the breadwinner does not mean you're not the head of the house. I'm still the head of my household. It's just my wife has the financial backing. She's still my backup. It's just she's now the primary backup for finances. But that still doesn't mean I'm not the head. I have a stronger support system in this reverse situation, which I'm actually thankful for. And it's nothing wrong with it. We're in an economy now. There's not enough time for just one household income. Your career path will definitely affect where your job comes. My wife got ahead of me when it came to being in office jobs. So her growth is leading her has her at the 5-6 figure salaries. I'm catching up, but she's already close to the high 5, low 6 figures on a regular basis, and there's nothing wrong with that. Understanding that is another sign of love because I don't hold any ought. I don't hold any jealousy. Do I want to do more to help? Yes, but that's not in a form of jealousy. That's in a form of I want my wife to be able to enjoy her time outside of just having to work hard to keep covering. I want to be able for everything to be split more further down the middle at 50-50.
And I know that seems like a wild concept, but I will also say this is that anyone that says that it has to stay 50-50 and y'all are both not upskilled, to me, that needs to be rethought, if that makes any sense. And the reason I say it needs to be rethought is simply for this reason. money comes and money goes. That's why I say that. Like, I know you're like, sure, really? I'm like, I'm being that serious. Money comes and money goes. And someone put in the comment section, I really want to address this. They're in high school age, and they said, one of the reasons I don't date in school is because I don't have enough money. I remember back in high school, if I here, I wasn't really dating. I'm gonna say that now. I'm gonna point at the camera. I really wasn't dating, so mama, allow that. Yeah, street lights, y'all, street lights. Iman, I need to be home. All right. But I can say this is that you are, I'm not gonna say you are still a child, you are becoming a young man. I'm gonna say that because I know exactly who you are. You're becoming a young man, and you are not required to do what a 40-year-old man can do because you don't have a 40-year-old man's salary. I'm gonna say that one more time. You do not have to do what a 40-year-old man does because you are not 40-year-old with a 40-year-old man's salary. Okay, so that's first, second, and third. So picnics, my guy, movies if you can, gift cards during Christmas time or on birthdays if you get money, kind of thing. You can save up for it. You can do heartfelt gifts like writing little love notes. You don't have to necessarily spend money. And if that girl is saying that you do, she
Not
was
worth
not
it.
100% raised with all the values of love, knowing that love is more than conditions, as we were talking about at the beginning. So I just want to make sure that was addressed because I did see your comment, Brennan, and I want to know that I did not overlook you. I did see it. And as a high school student, also, please focus on your studies more than you focus on relationships like that because at the exact same time, I'm gonna be very transparent again when I say this.
Give it
Those
till college.
relationships normally end in a lot of heartbreak because they normally don't go to college with you. And then even in college, sometimes those relationships don't go into your regular adult life. So just be mindful of that and give yourself grace and know that money should not be 100% factor in being able to go on a date with someone because the whole point of courting is to get to know the person, not to know their pocketbook. Yes, I get Sexy Red and Gorilla and Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce. I can keep naming all the names. And the reason I'm naming all these names is because they tell you that this man has to have a big da, a da da, and a da da. I'll say that. You know what the threes are, okay? You know what they are.
Guys, we know the unholy sixes.
You already know what they are. So with that being said, that's not required. That's not sustainable. And to say that in the United States climate as it currently is to me one unfortunate, and two, I want y'all to all know by the sound of my voice that wherever you are in your financial situation and in relation to your love with yourself is okay because you have always been worthy since the conception of you. Okay, I really need y'all to hear that. You have always been worthy since the conception of you inside of your mother's womb. You've always been worthy. You've always been enough. And it doesn't matter your financial situation because that does not devalue you. And do not allow someone to devalue you to just a dollar sign because you're more than a dollar sign. You are a human. You are a soul. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'm sorry.
Can I jump in?
I have moments, y'all. I am so sorry. But I just need y'all to really understand that because I tied my self-worth to my finances and that dollar sign. And every time my money went down, I started acting funny, angry, scared because I was in survival because I stressed myself out by overthinking about the future and all the what if and the worst case scenarios. Not realizing that I was enough before I even got here. So I just want to make sure y'all knew that. You know how I get all preachy sometimes. I'm sorry.
Can I double dutch with you?
Double dutch with me. Double dutch. Side to side.
So, two things. One, I commend y'all for y'all's relationship because that's big for you to acknowledge that, number one, and then to understand that because that's one of those things that is very confusing, or I'll say it like this, it has too much power and it shouldn't. Because if we go 50-50 on the finances, but nothing else, we ain't gonna be prosperous, and we have to look for more prosperous relationships. And prosperity doesn't just equate to how much money you make, and that's why I love that word, is because it talks about much more. If you make more money than me, but I support you emotionally, how is that not 50-50? If you can spiritually confide in me, or we both support each other that way, how is that not 50-50? Matter of fact, if you don't support me financially, but you support me in all those other ways, how is that not love? Like, this is what we look at our friends for. This is what we are, the close family members. Those people don't pay us. They're there because they do all the other things, the intangibles, right? So when we're talking about love and we're talking about finances, one thing that I think that it would be beneficial to understand is, like, what is value for real? Because the value is actually not on the relationship, it's not on the person, it's not on yourself, it's on the dollar, it's on the money, it's on that number. And so if the number go up, your appreciation, your love for yourself, that goes up. If it goes down, all of that goes down. And just like you said, with the way money fluctuates, you would then see why we are so emotionally unstable, because it's tied to that. We put our emotions on the stock market, and the price is going up, price is going down every single day, and we crashing. And we don't understand that. You got to remove that. You have to divest from that, like, and take all your money out of that, and then reimagine this thing. Because if you had all the money in the world, would you really want to buy love? Like, come on now. Like, you want to experience that's something that we want to feel. That's something we want to be around. It's not something I want to have to purchase. When we live in a time where it seems like you got to purchase everything. Everything is for sale. And then when you get it, you're like, it didn't feel as good as earning it. You spoke about gaming and playing games, and this is something that I'm passionate about. I work in this area around tech with blockchain, showing individuals, businesses how to gamify their business, but also I'm passionate about showing individuals how they can take ownership over their life. If you playing games with this, like, we're talking about ownership. So if you're playing a video game and you just buy all the perks, you buy all the achievements, that don't feel good. You flex to everybody else and you like, yeah, but it don't feel good. When you earn that and you grind for that, not only do it feel good, you tearing everybody else up. They like, dang, how he get so good? He grinded. Like, it's a difference between grinding and then, just trying to purchase things. And I think what we're seeing a lot is people are saying we're not as fully whole and fully within ourselves. So we want to go purchase that outside. So I got half a heart, and if I purchase your half a heart, we got a whole heart. That might be true. But if you have a whole heart and you have a whole heart, now we got two full hearts. And this is what we can experience, a fulfilling experience, not this half-hearted, experience that we've been dealing with love. So I would just say it's more about value than it is about a dollar amount. And then to the young man out there, like, I was wondering what a 40-year-old income is, because I'm 2 years about to be 40, and I'm like, yeah, what is it? Because that's changed. Like, you're able to make whatever it is you want. So I'll say this, and because I got a son, so it's like, what happens is, and this is both for men and women, when we are young, like, so much emphasis is put on love in the wrong way that it makes you search for something that you think you're missing, because you like, I'm not enough, I got to go find this. So you go look for it, and you spend so much time focused on dating and all this other stuff that you end up getting into your 20s or later on in life, and then you start asking, well, what is my passion? What's my purpose? If you reverse that and you start to figure out what your passions are and what your purpose is, you know what's going to be there? A bunch of people who want you. Like, you're going to be sitting here, they're going to be bidding for your services. You get to pick and choose. And what would you rather have? The ability to choose, or I'm stuck with this because I just made a bad decision, or I was, moving too fast. So I would say put the value in finding out what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and what you love to do. Put those things together, and then that's going to build a purpose. And I promise you, she going to be right there. He going to be right there. You're going to turn around and have a story about how you was walking down the street singing "Do I Diddy" and then got hit over the head, and now y'all married because we're seeing it. So I really commend y'all. But I do want to ask this. You said 3 days. Are you saying y'all got married 3 days, like knowing each other, or?
You're on mute.
I can't hear you.
No, so the 3 days was the 3 days of dating before we started talking about the financials. We got married after about 3.5 months
Okay.
of dating.
Okay, that make a little bit more sense to me. I was about to say 3 days. We got to have a
No,
conversation
crazy.
when we
we're
get
not.
off
I
of here
know.
because
There is no way. There is no way. I'll say this is that because I still had daddy wounds, there was no way that was even going to be a reality. My mom had to work with me to realize that I was pushing away a good man because I thought he was my father. And a lot of people don't really like to talk about daddy issues, but daddy issues do affect your love of men. I will say that. And I know it's not intentional. It is definitely not intentional, but it did cause a tumultuous, I'm gonna use big words today, relationship at the beginning because it was us when we got married. A lot of people don't talk about this, but we had to undo our baggage together because when you're dating, you should not be fully intimate with that person. They don't know you, you don't know them, and you also don't know if y'all gonna break up and they're gonna use those secrets that you told them in vulnerability against you, or those pictures that you sent them that were spicy against you. And I say all that to say, be mindful when you're doing that. Know the consequences of all of your actions to the fullest before doing any of the actions like that. Okay. I'm not saying that as a mama bear, but I'm saying that as someone that knows that the internet lasts forever and there's a thing called the Wayback Machine. There's a thing called screenshots and private clouds. With all that being said, just be mindful, be careful. But no, 3 months was the thing. And after that, I said 3 days. I mean, I proposed Wednesday night and we got married Friday night. So I tell you that 2
okay,
days.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's 2 days. Sorry. I hear that just tells you like go for gold. But at the same time, I will say this. The reason I didn't tell my family was one thing I was not going to allow them to do was to put their judgment on my relationship. I knew what I wanted, and I refused to let anybody tell me different.
Now they love me.
Every single person in my family adores this man. Adores this man. They said, I go to a family function, where's Leroy? Where's Leroy? Where's Leroy? And I'm like, he is at home working. He is at home. I feel like a broken record sometimes, but because his shift changed, because like I said, time changes things. We went from him being graveyard, me being 9 to 5 and going to school to I'm not going to school no more. I graduated, look a goal. And then now he actually has a more of a 9 to 5 schedule. So we're actually able to see each other so much that when it first started happening, I felt weird. I was like, I feel like this is like illegal seeing you this much, sir. And he's like, it is not, baby. Come here. And I'm like, ah. So I will say this, and I always said because of the fact that we have never spent this much amount of quality time together because we have never been allowed to with the schedules that we previously had without making it where none of us we weren't going to have income, if that makes any sense.
So you want us to leave a room? That's what you're saying?
No. That's for private eyes and private doors. You're currently in the house, but not really.
No, I'm saying y'all quality time. We're interfering. Let's get out of here, guys.
I cannot with you. You're so silly. But I will say this is that you're speaking on value, and I really want to touch on value, especially when it comes to love. I believe there is a intrinsic and extrinsic value when it comes to love. Do you guys know what those words mean? That's where
No,
I
can you
have to
tell
pause,
me
y'all.
Intrinsic.
Doesn't they make it here, y'all? I'll be like Trente bringing out all the big words. Okay.
If I heard correctly, it's visible value.
Here you go. I'll help here. I'll help some brothers out because I'm gonna give y'all the dictionary meaning because why not? I have to actually spell intrinsic right. Intrinsic. Okay, intrinsic, belonging naturally, essential, inherent, innate, inborn, inbred, congenital, natural, native. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
Extrinsic, external, outside of you. Does that make sense now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I look things up to make sure I do things correctly. And just so y'all know, it's an adjective if y'all want to increase your thing. And how to spell it is INTRINSIC. New word. There you go. Word of the day. But there's intrinsic and there's extrinsic. So I will start this one to help y'all out. Intrinsic, belonging from the inside, are the actions that I take to love myself. What does that mean? That means for me to learn who I am. And for me, what that means for me, I'm going to talk for myself, is learning what my zodiac is, learning what my human design is, reading up on what that is, looking at my numerology, reading up on what that is, quizzing myself, journaling with myself, figuring out what thoughts that I am thinking, figuring out what doesn't actually belong there. Those are the things intrinsically that I can do within myself that belongs to me and that's natural to me. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So extrinsic, okay, that is anytime that I'm dealing with external stuff. So if we're having a moment and we're needing to talk about finances and stuff like that, or let's say that extrinsically, you say, extrinsic, I love acts of service, and I buy you a coffee. That's an act of service, and that's how you see love. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'll say, there's also like a love languages quiz by Gary Chapman. People are like, I don't like that stuff, but it does help you know a little bit of something about yourself. Just know that you have all of the love languages, and it should be expressed to you in every single way for you to fully feel the full effect.
But it definitely helps. Knowing love language helps because then that knows how you need to interact with your partner.
Mm-hmm. So now that I've answered myself, who wants to go next?
Pass.
You pass?
Okay.
Okay, he passes. Sance, do you pass too?
No. I accept. Mission Impossible. Just rephrase how you are answering this or asking, if you can.
Okay, I'll say.
Or are we just talking about intrinsic?
How do you express the love inside yourself, and how do you express your love outside of you? Is that better?
Perfect.
Gotcha.
How I express the love inside myself with a lot of the things that you were saying. So I'll just pick one because as a man, this is not something we're taught. It's not even something we're told. This is something that is associated with girls in high school, diaries. But it's like a journal. If you change the word from diary to journal, now you're empowered to use it. Be like, diary, no. Journal, let's talk about this. So taking your thoughts and writing them down, and then not taking it and throwing it away, then going back at a later date and reading it has been huge because you don't always know what's going on. And you have so many thoughts inside your mind that happen within the 50 minutes that we've been on here talking. You've had thoughts just racing in and out of your mind. And it's not until you journal them that you're able to actually not just express it, but then understand it. So my whole brand is an acronym, right? But when you hear me say live inspired, like those are acronyms. And so the acronym that I will use to express how you can love yourself internally is live. So we talk about, how to live and how do we live. And so by listening, inviting, verifying, and expressing. So what I listen to myself. I know people are, what? Like we're afraid to talk. So I listen, and then I invite those thoughts, because when you don't invite them in, when you're not like, okay, I'll take my time, and inviting simply means I'm gonna sit here and think about it. You have to understand that you have more control over your life, so you have to take that. You have to take it, and taking control is like you choose to sit with a thought, not you're just sitting here and a thought pops in your head and now you just running off down the street and don't even know where you're going. That's not choice. That is what happens when you are inundated with social media and always watching. You lose that ability to choose your thoughts, and then they're just happening. So by inviting that in, I'm choosing which thoughts that I want to sit with, verifying if it's something that is for me, if it's not. And if it's not for me, we swipe left. And then I express that. We express it through journaling, through writing, through talking with others. But these are things that I use internally for expressing, feeling, and understanding that love. And then externally, it's things like this, showing up for communities where it's okay to show love, where you're talking about healing, where they want you to share. I think a lot of times we feel, I guess you say, like so alone. We just want to talk to any and everybody, but we didn't invite and verify, is this a place that would benefit me? Is this a place that's open for me to express? Just because you think they're your friend don't mean they want to hear certain things. And I don't think we pay attention to that. Like, there might be a friend that you didn't notice you always talk about finances to. Then the moment you talk about your relation, they like, I gotta go. When we pay attention to those spaces, you start to see where you can and when you can express. And I think by being able to organize that and align and understand that, we find out the spaces that are healthy for us to express what. You can't just come in somewhere and just be like, yo, I'm about to tell y'all all of this just because. That's not the space for that. But as simultaneously, when you are in a space like here, and we're talking about love and healing, don't be afraid to express, because that's when your soul, your spirit is telling you, like, say it, and you like, no, but I'm too afraid. That's the time where you express that love by letting go of that fear and falling into that. And then you start, that's when I started really loving myself more, as I stopped being afraid of things and start leaning in and saying, you know what, I'm gonna speak up about this. I'm gonna show up for this thing by myself without nobody. And then you turn around and you be like, damn, I did that. One pat on the back. Then after you keep doing it, it goes from I did that to I'm doing that. And you go from somebody who is walking around with your head down to you naturally lift your chin, and you start to walk around with your head high because you're proud of the things that you're doing. So if we have our head down and we don't feel that love, a lot of times it's because we're not proud of what we're doing. The beauty is, if you're not proud of what you're doing, you can be doing something different. You can change it. And I think that's one of the greatest superpowers that you have that we may not be expressing. You can change it whenever you want to. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm back. My husband had to step away. So it is me and you currently right now, sir. And so I love how you naturally went into when and where love is appropriate. Because some of us don't realize when we have the feelings of not feeling like we are enough, we tend to overshare. And oversharing doesn't necessarily mean that we care for the other person. It shows our lack of care for our hearts and ourselves. And what I mean by that is telling you don't know if this person is a friend or an enemy, all your secrets can get you hurt, hurt real bad. We hear stories every single day of, you might not hear stories every single day, but they're all also here. They're all available on the TikTok as of right now, or on the YouTube as people react to the stories of people oversharing, and that overshare getting them hurt by someone leaking that vulnerable moment, that thing that they kept in the dark. but they thought they could trust that other person. And so my honey's back. Come on, baby. Um, so one thing that I can say is that I love, like I said, I love that you shared that because oversharing is not necessarily caring. When you truly care about yourself, you learn how to keep things private. You don't have to say everything, all the dealings that are going to be dealt. Because the thing is that people can pray against you, which is going to delay what's coming to you, but it's never going to take what's coming for you. What's meant for you, it always comes to you. I'm going to say that one more time. What is meant for you always comes to you, but you can't settle. You can't settle. You can't settle. And what I mean by settle, I mean you cannot compromise what you originally made the objective just because you think it's getting hard. When it gets hard, that lets you know that ease around the corner because things work in cycles. Sorry, I'm dropping words. I know. I get it. But like I said, right. So right now, just to catch everybody up that's just joining in, we're currently doing Love Fest for a day of healing. I am with Sance and my lovely husband, Leroy Carr, who has a Sonic head on. I should have knew. I should have knew he brought foolishness. I should have knew. But then again, I love my honey. This is how we play, y'all. I bring glasses. He be Sonic. This is us. Uh, so right now we have been talking about finances. We've been talking about love, value, when and where love shows up. How do we love ourselves inside of ourselves, and how do we express it outside of ourselves? And now I'm going to come to a time where we also in this love fest are also all about gratitude and appreciation and providing value. So I'm going to do a fun little exercise if y'all want to do it with me. We're going to take turns. And this also includes the people on the stage in the clubhouse. Just so y'all know, is I would love for us to take the time each to vent some gratitude for what we appreciate in our lives. And you're going to vent as long as you need to until you feel like you're at peace with your gratitude. And that's when you stop and say, I pass it to the next person. And that lets us know that it's now time for someone else to go. So with that being said, do I have to demonstrate? Do you want me to demonstrate or do you think you got it?
I got it.
Okay, Leroy said he got it. Passing the mic to Honey Boo.
Okay. Well, I am honestly just thankful for all my growth within the past couple of years. Being it through one of my lovely wives, primarily. So she has definitely pushed me towards working on my emotional health and emotional wellness and maturity. Brother Stans has already said it once. We men are not really taught how to handle their emotions. They're more taught how to bottle it up and then realize no one else cares about it. That's actually pushed pretty hard, but anyway, I get the feeling she actually cares when she wants to from my emotional state. So I no longer feel like I just have to stay hidden and bottled up. And that actually has played one of the biggest factors overall, because once you're able to deal with yourself and your emotions personally, a lot of other things just clear themselves out. You do better in work, you do better in just life in general. And when you realize what you need to step away from as well, it just makes things so much easier. And I'm just grateful for her for that, because she was there when I needed the push. She was there when I need the startup. And I'm thankful for her. Passing on to the next one.
Sance, do you want to go next? Do you want me to go next? How you want to do it?
I want y'all to keep the love going for me,
Okay.
please. Go next, fuck me. Go next.
I will as I flip his necklace on top of him. There you go. So, I'm thankful for today. I'm thankful for this moment.
Wakanda necklace from Shein.
I'm
Hashtag
thankful
not
for.
sponsored.
I cannot. I'm thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for that necklace because it's something that I wanted him to wear in the name. Because you got fashion sense, y'all, fashion sense, and I love that his fashion sense improves every single day. I love that we have found clothes for him. Oh my God, I remember crying in the Target parking lot when I could not find clothes for him, and I was just so upset and mad with the world. I was like, how dare y'all not have clothes and that are for everyone? And then Target got hit with that suit recently, or is about to get hit with that suit about diversity and inclusion. That is inclusion right there. And that's a whole other thing. But I'm saying I'm thankful though that he has a plethora of clothes that he can choose from and he feels comfortable in his style. And I find clothes now easier than ever before. Yes, it's online, but I still can find them. And to be able to find them is just, I'm really thankful. I am thankful that we have a house. I'm thankful that we have this time. I'm thankful that I know I have employment on the way and that I do have so many skills and I can make. I am thankful for my dog. I am thankful for I am thankful for Sance and meeting him on the Noon Vibe app and him spitting all the tough love facts. Okay. Like that's how we met. I am so thankful that we're getting collab right now in this moment. I am thankful for learning I would say learning how to love myself so I can love others better in their fullness. I'm thankful for water. I am thankful for shelter. I'm thankful for our new timeshare. I'm thankful for being able to afford all these things that God has provided us and more. I am thankful for each and every single one of my family members, whether they're living or they're not no longer here. I'm thankful for their life stories. I'm thankful for their actions. I'm thankful for all of what makes them who they are. I'm thankful that we live in a country that is a country. We don't live on an island nowhere. We live in a country. You can travel within that country from state to state. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that healthy love is not just possible, it's highly probable. I am so, 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 so thankful for that. And with all that now being said, I pass it to you, Mr. Sons.
Received. So I'll start externally before I get to myself. I will reiterate that and say that we all thankful for Sharente because I'm telling you, like we met on the Noom Vibe app and then it was just full speed from there. So I could see how through that I learned that things can happen, or how do I want to say this? When you on your path and you found your purpose, things can happen and they're all worth it. You might not even, you don't know when it's coming. You thinking, well, it takes 30 days for something. Look, everything goes out the window when you're on that journey because when I got on Noom Vibe and I was speaking, I was not in a whole place. So I didn't believe in, I didn't even trust it to make friendships. Like my story has a lot of betrayal. So it's like to hear someone, if I would have heard this back then, that you guys could meet in 3 months and then in 3 days, it wouldn't have made sense. But because I've experienced this and I've met this individual, I know that it's real. So I will say that I'm thankful for Sharente as well. I'm thankful for meeting both of y'all and hearing about y'all's relationship. Leroy, we just met, but I'm thankful for you because as a man, being able to share, like that's big. And like, I want more of that. That's what I'm here for. This is what my organization is pushing, is expressing that, because when we do that, that's when the healing starts. When you're open to receiving that, that's when the healing starts. So I'll say that's big. Thankful to be on this at this event, to be honest, like 24 hours. When I first heard that, I said, who we gonna be on for 24 hours? Who gonna be on for 24 hours? No, but to have it all day, like that's powerful. So shout out to everybody who is here now, going to be here, everybody who went into putting this together. Now, this is the most uncomfortable part for many, but this is where I'm most comfortable at. And so I'm taking this time because there was a time where I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't even think like this. I believed the naysayers and I'd be too afraid because it was like, oh, why are you being cocky or arrogant or this or that? But I'm telling you, what I'm most thankful for is myself. Because when you go through some shit, it's only you that's going to get you out of it. So I'm not thankful for myself just because of the positives. It's also the negatives that I went through, and then being able to break that down and understand those losses, right? To embrace that, to, like I said, my business is called Losers Inspire for a reason, because it stands for love outreaching, set expectations, rewarding self. And that's exactly what happened. I fell in love with outreaching all those expectations that other people set. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to blah, 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 blah. Because for me, I'm 38 years old. If I believed in their expectations, I would not be here right now because I was supposed to be dead or in jail. Not only did I not die, but I ain't been to jail. So it's like, wait a minute, time out. Y'all said, so there has to be something different. I have to change up my mindset. I couldn't think the same way. I couldn't do the same things expecting a different result and then still call myself sane. Couldn't do that. So I went crazy. I started to trust and believe in myself, like the things that I wanted to do. If I wanted to, for instance, Friday, wore pink socks to the gym today. Why? Because it's Friday. And if you know, you know. If I want to do that, I'm going to do that. If I want to, like my brother just came on here, wear a Sonic hat, you damn right, I'm going to wear the Sonic hat. Matter of fact, I might go put on the whole costume because that's what I want to do. And it don't matter if you don't want to do it, if you got something to say. When you start stepping out like that, that's standing on business. And that's what I started doing, was like, you know what? I did everything that everybody else was doing and told me to do, but now I'm going to do what I want to do. And it was ugly. So this is why I say I'm thankful for myself, because I allowed myself to go through those ugly times. Y'all know what an ugly cry is? Like, I love myself because I saw myself do the ugly crying. I went through those times and it led me to more individuals like this, more spaces like this, and a bigger, greater understanding for God. And so that's what I love the most. And that's what I'm thankful for, because before I ain't had that, now I do. And you can't take it away. So I'm most thankful for my life because it is now inspired.
I know it. Y'all hear it. It's all good. So now that we have shared, I'm coming to the Clubhouse room because, like I said, we're on Clubhouse and we're on YouTube in multiple places and spaces. And I would love for whoever would like to vent some gratitude to go next. I think Mama Vicky is in the building. Vicky, are you there? Let's see if she's there, because I know it's nighttime over there. Let's see. I don't know if she's available. That's why I said she might have fell asleep because, like I said, it's that time of night, okay? Malika, do you want to do some venting gratitude? Absolutely, but I do want to research everyone else prior. Devlin. Maybe she sleep too. So, but Likia.
That's one part about sitting and listening. Y'all share some amazing things. So, Gucci, and I have you on the thing. I'm making sure I'm not saying you reverb because I have you on my computer too. Out the gate, I am so grateful for you, Missy Ma'am. I'm happy for you, yes. Like, you have been part of this event for like 3 years. You have it every year, right?
Uh-huh. There's a healing safe touch, a day of healing safe emotions, the XSP, all the things.
All those things. So, I love your heart. I love that you are community and family for me. And it's a, it is something to bring this to life, but I know it can't be just me. So for you and Leroy to be up in the middle of the, well, still, East Coast and West Coast are not, it's still late. So I appreciate you guys' time, and then you brought Sance along with you, and what I say, you gotta be 90 years old. Let's keep your 38-year-old body, because I'm not convinced. I'm very grateful for the conversation that you guys have had here, for the truth and the knowledge and the transparency, the vulnerability, the questions, the heart, the things that you were sharing, the being out loud, living 10 toes down, having that ugly cry, and people can keep their opinions about it. Like, I'm grateful for the freedom to define who we are. I'm so happy and grateful for everybody who's taking this opportunity and carry it for 24 hours and really make it a love fest that's whole space and let people open their mouths and practice talking about love, practice talking about gratitude. So this has been, you guys are awesome. It's almost midnight and now we over here and I'm gonna take my tail to people in a minute because you gotta get up for the in person. So I'm just super grateful all over the block. We got 20 people pulling up to the house tomorrow, so it's about to be wild business. And just all the hearts, all the people that was like, hey, listen, I want to help. Put me here. I'll do this. I'll do that. And the vision comes together. So I'm grateful that every time Sovereign Divine whispers and inspires, and I said yes, it is freaking amazing regardless of what it is. So I'm grateful for having a willing spirit. I'm grateful for moving to the point where what the quote unquote they thought about me is invisible to me now. It matters not, it doesn't exist. So I thank God for the tools. I thank God for being able to develop daily. I thank God for the people that I'm surrounded with. I'm so grateful that the folks who could not match me or exceed my vibration are no longer near me. So I thank God that I had great, great, good, beautiful people. And I'm surrounded by love and more love and light and light. So it's wonderful to be packed in with truth and to have flowers and cups and gardens to water and pour into. So I thank God for you. And the fun we get into and the lives that we journey together, we've been at it for a minute. So I can't wait to continue it. Thank you for participating. Thank you for bringing your people along. And I'm super, super, super grateful and super, super sleepy. So love you and I'm passing it back.
Love you, and I understand that because you also did poetries and rhyme prior to this time, and then you did a 2 hour block because you go nonstop. I don't mean to rhyme, but I'm on that time, and it just is what it is at this current juncture. Okay. So I do want to just say that for anyone that is currently in the clubhouse room, do you want to express gratitude? Let me know in the chat. I know some people are just listening, and I completely respect that as well because love is allowing someone to have agency and full autonomy of what they want to do without forcing your opinions and your perspective on them as a fact.
Say that again.
That was so clear and so concise. I don't know I could do that twice. You want to try it? You're like, I'm in the rhyme. Okay. So I'm going to say that. Try to say this one more time. Is that love allows for you to allow someone to have full agency and I would say is agency and autonomy of their own choices and what they want to do and respecting that and not forcing your perspective, opinion, or way of life onto them, saying that only the way that you think is fact, and because that is your own self righteousness, and you have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, Uncle Sam. Let me stop.
Oh, you're preaching in the background. You're like, preach, preach. I see you. I see you. I love this. But I will say this is that it's just I just really want people to know like love actively listens. It actively listens and it allows. It allows and it listens. It allows and it listens. A lot of people forget to listen and then to allow someone to just be themselves without trying to mold them into something that they want to be. Because the thing is that you're no one's parent. And even if you are a parent, you're just a facilitator. A lot of parents don't realize they're just a facilitator to watching and helping mold that child into who that child is already meant to be. Not what they want, not what the parent wants that child to be, but what that child has called for themselves to be in this life. They already had a purpose before they even got here. They already know what their purpose is. And a lot of, I'll say this, I say this from over 16 years of nannying, being a children's minister, and teaching kids, that a lot of parents will force their perspective and the life that they want to live on their child, not realizing their child was set with a different purpose. And that by trying to swap that purpose, they are hindering the world of an amazing love that child already pre-had. I'm not gonna say that again, okay? Because I don't know if I can say that again. I had to you gonna say. I was like, I can't say that one again, okay? The way that I did, it came the way that it came together the way that it did. But I can say, allow your child to be themselves because I keep getting the compliments so much, like you're just so smart, you're just so full of knowledge, you're just so smart, you're so full of knowledge. I love the compliment. I'm so thankful. But I have to. After that, I go back to who originally allowed me to be myself. My mom. My mom allowed me to be myself, and she reminded me research, develop, execute. And after execution, after lived experience, you can go ahead and teach, but not a second before. She taught me that. And because of that, I am who I am. And so if you're like, I want to be like her, or I want my kid to be like her, allow your child to be themselves. Hold sacred space. If something seems wonky, it probably is. And ask questions. They don't want to talk to you. You can get auntie to ask them the questions. The auntie's a sacred space, and you know that they're truly trustworthy. Because sometimes there's disease within love, and that is toxic. Okay? There is such thing as toxic love. And toxic love literally pacifies something that we know is inherently wrong. Like touching a child. And you know good and well you're an adult and you have no business putting your hands on that child in that way. That is wrong. That is sick-minded. I'm gonna be very. It's gonna sound sort of, but I don't care at this point. It's not right. It's not right. That's a toxic love. And the people that overlook that, that's not okay either. You are literally allowing a child to get abused and being completely, consenting and I'll say aiding and abetting with it. You're just as guilty as the person that did the action, in my opinion, because you have the voice. You're an adult. You could stop them. You can call the cops. You can do what you got to do. But that's toxic love. And I wanted to let you guys know that there is such a thing as toxic love. And what we're talking about here and today is what healthy love looks, sounds, and feels like. Because healthy love is not only possible, it is highly probable when you take the time to be intentional to first love yourself and then love others, because then you can truly do the golden rule. Treat those the way that you want to be treated. Now I'm off my soapbox. Y'all know I get on it sometimes.
And if you can't have that love yet, what I will say is what y'all taught us is if you're open to that, you will allow someone or something to come in and mold you into being able to receive it, express it. So it's like if you can't right now, you learn to open yourself up to it. And a lot of, because we can or don't have it, we close ourselves off to it. And that's where I was personally, like after my last relationship ended, like for a little bit I was there, And that's when I made the turn, because I had to say that I couldn't allow, or I wouldn't allow this to make me bitter. I was going to use it to make me better, because that's something that I didn't want for one person to hurt me and then I curse all people. This is the origin story of a villain. This is why I also see I'm weird. So I also can see that how villains are created. So it's like, they're part of the same duality of a superhero. You get hurt and you're not able to heal from that, you're going to villainize things. If you get hurt and you're able to heal from that, you start saving things. You want to be a superhero. You want to protect people from being hurt. So if we create more spaces that allow that, more spaces like this, you can come through the door as a villain and leave as a superhero. Like, to be honest, because these things happen. You're not stuck in wherever you're at, but you have to be open to that. And then what I wanted to ask is, because it's two of y'all, and you said something about active listening, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I've experienced not listening myself. So I was going to ask if y'all can show us like what active listening looks like between you two, because if I never seen it, but you telling me, I think active listening is this. Okay, and then walk away. Or I think active listening is, all right, you said what you said. Now, can I just jump in with what I'm saying? So if you would be so gracious to school us.
We can. Give me a second to get back in frame, because you already know how it is. Okay. So people on Clubhouse can hear too. So you want us to demonstrate active listening. I just want to make sure I understand the prompt right before we do this assignment, because we want to understand the assignment fully. Is that correct, Sance? I believe it is. I hope it is. And if it's not,
Yes.
I misunderstood. Okay. So let me come up with scenario right quick. Okay, so okay. I had to think of something. So when the dog gets really, really crazy, do you realize what he's actually trying to tell you?
I do not.
You don't know?
No, because most of the time he are.
So recently I actually found out that he's actually been eating a lot more and drinking a lot more than what we're used to. So when he starts acting crazy like that, majority of the times, 10 out of 10, the bowl is empty when it comes to his food and or his water. So I thought it's kind of crazy because he doesn't normally eat or drink this much, but recently he has been. And so like when I tell you, hey baby, can you fill it up? And you're like, hey, I just filled it up. I know you did. But little man, he's living his best life. He's eating. The dry food, the wet food, drinking all the water, and all the in-betweens.
Okay, so to make sure I understand, I need to be more alert to his food station due to his excessive eating and drinking, correct?
Yeah, but I also know the reason why you haven't been doing that is because of the fact that we did have a couple of the cucarachas that decided to try to make our house a home, and we deleted them from the equation. And I do realize that. And I do realize that having a pet bowl with food and water can attract those type of pests into your house. So I understand completely why you were not trying to overfill things, but I did also notice him eating a lot more food and drinking a lot more. And that's why when he gets all frazzled and starts running around like he's crazy, it's literally just him trying to let us know, mommy, daddy, I'm out of food, I'm out of water, or I need lovies, or I need to be outside. It's literally one of the four things.
Okay. I'll be more cautious to be more aware.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Mm-hmm. And if I see something and I can do something about it, I will definitely do that.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. That was a real conversation, y'all, because this is something that really is happening right now. So I hope that helps when it comes to active listening and what it sounds like. at a conversation when you're actually truly communicating.
Another thing, I will say this for communication purposes. Let me sit up for this one.
Don't say that? Okay, baby.
If do you have a significant other and they bring something to your attention, stay on topic. That is not your time to add anything extra or add any of your issues or concerns with what is brought up. You want to stick to the subject, because by the point of you adding your 20 plus things, the argument or the discussion has switched from talking about why is the trash not taken out to why are you always hanging out with your friends? And both of those don't have anything, those have really nothing to do with each other whatsoever. And that's just another form of active listening, because you are giving the space to what your significant other is stating. Me and Charente have also experienced that, where we had an argument over one thing and it kept diverting to other things because neither one of us were trying to stay on point.
And sometimes it can go all over the place. And I know recently we had a situation where it went all over the place. And I can say at the end of it, he's like, "Are we good?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course we're good." Yes, we get passionate, but passion doesn't necessarily mean anger. Passion and anger, yes, they have close to the same sides, but they're two different things. And I can recognize when we're being passionate, but I can also recognize when there's anger that's afoot. And the only reason I can tell the difference between those two is because of the fact that I took the time to understand my emotions. So I hope that helps you, sir. I hope that is an example that, like I said, helped you. And if y'all have any questions about anything that we've been talking about, please feel free to ask them. That's why we are here. Yes, we have like 30 minutes left, kinda. I say kinda because we do need to pass it up on time. But I did want to open up the floor for questions from people that are currently watching us on YouTube, as well as the people currently on Clubhouse. I'd love to know if y'all would like us to cover anything else, including you, Sance.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna wait to see what others say. I surely want to see more because we don't get this often. You get like a live demonstration and explanation. What?
Okay. So my question to you, Sance, what will be valuable? What type of situation? Oh, wait. Let me hear. I see someone. 1 second. I'm in here. I'm looking at the comments really fast on YouTube. So someone asked, "What's the talk?" So we are currently in Love Fest. Love Fest is a part of a day of healing, which is a 24-hour live stream brought to you by Sanctuary XP Master Hero. Oh my gosh, Sanctuary XP Mastermind Master Key, specifically by founder Malikia K. Courtney, who literally, it all started with a cop and a bathroom, and it resulted in multiple events where we get to heal and we get to grow and we get to adapt and we get to be more of our authentic selves each and every single day. So right now we're in our 2-hour block between me, my husband Leroy, as well as Sance, my friend from a distance. We are all talking about love specifically and how it's expressed, when and where it's appropriate. We've also talked about love and finances, because that's a really big one nowadays, with women saying you have to have this money percent, but they just want to be taken care of, not realizing that you need a 2-house income right now to make things as affordable as they can be. And the one income that was beautiful, I'll say 20 years ago, but in the way that inflation currently exists and things currently are situated, unless y'all are both in a highly profitable profession, 2 incomes might be required, and there's nothing wrong, nor is it looked down upon. So right now we're at the part of the talk because we've almost been on for 2 hours where we're asking now if there's any questions. Sance is asking for another demonstration of active listening between a relationship, which I appreciate. And I also wanted to make sure we were able to answer other questions as well. So that's where we are in the talk, Willow. And also I want to say this because this needs to be said. Healthy relationships are not just possible, they're highly probable when you take the time to heal yourself first. Because healed people heal people, hurt people hurt people. And in today's world, we're choosing to be healed and to be healthy. So that's where we're at. And I see Tiffany's in the building. The future EGOT winner. I'm gonna keep speaking that into existence, y'all. Like, so you know how like people have vision boards and you don't know what's on it, but you're just like manifesting for them. Right now, I'm manifesting for my playwright bestie at EGOT because she going to get an Emmy, she going to get a Grammy, she going to get an Oscar, and she is going to get a Tony because that's the Lord. In the name. Okay, sorry. Y'all know I hype her up every single time because we all deserve to be hyped up and have that one person that's gonna be like coming to the ring and then literally have like a whole little speech. You know, remember in wrestling where they had their theme song and like they would actually like really announce the person and give all the names in advance. Do you remember Rey Mysterio? 619. Okay, random. But yes, I wanted to make sure I invited her in and said hello to everyone that's currently on the live stream. Malika, do you want to add anything? This one needs to.
First, I'm giggling because thank you, guys. And I love that he asked for that example. That's pretty dope to see it in real time, the way you guys move together and resolve. And then I had to laugh when you said that about the police officer. That thing is so far from my mind, bro. I'm like, you are so right. So I love the fast forwarded communicated version too. And much appreciation. I see my Tiffany in the building, and I saw your message, Tiff. Are you wanting to open mic, or are you just chilling and listening? Yo, I'm here. I did come in with a request for active listening. I think that's dope. Because sometimes, we ask, we hear stuff and get advice, and they're like, this, but you have no idea what that means. So I think it's dope that that question is asked. But yes, I'm just chilling, and I will be back. My time is 8 to 10, but I've definitely been in and out all day. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Sharenta, you sound wide awake. Are you drinking coffee? I love it. I appreciate your support, friend. All right, I'm off mic for now.
The thing is, when I go and I do live streams, I be turned up in the street eats, but not really, because I'm home and I like home. Okay? I like home so much. I'm a homebody. I know I'm not the only one.
I'm not gonna lie, sleep is sneaking on me.
I know sleep is sneaking on you. You're good to go to bed, baby. You're totally. If you need to go to bed, you're totally okay. Maybe this is another active listening thing. He just said he's tired. So am I going to force him to stay up? No. If you need to go to bed, you are more than free to go to bed. I'm being very legit here. I'm not being facetious. I'm not saying this out of anger. No additional tone. No additional I'll say purpose. Yes, we only have like 20 minutes.
Because that's my bedtime.
I know it's past your bedtime.
Hey, you better go to bed.
Do you really need to go to bed?
Not really.
You sure?
It's just creeping.
It's creeping. Y'all, if he falls asleep, just know what happened. I guess he's just giving you a heads up, but if you need to go to sleep, you're okay to go to sleep, Ty. You need to.
I can push.
Are you sure?
I can push.
Are you sure?
I can push.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Are you sure?
I can push.
Okay. Y'all all heard him. I asked a couple of times, and he said each time, I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna respect his I will do it. Because the thing is that I'm not gonna believe the opposite and then start playing on the opposite and taking action from the opposite. Do you get me now? I'm not gonna push him out either. Because if he said what he said, and he means what he means. And I'm letting him know that I'm fine either way. My emotions will not sway. So that's what we mean by actively listening and actively really being there and actively allowing you to love the other person. It's truly hearing them. And if they say, I'm tired, say, baby, is there something that I can do? Can I help you somewhere? I remember the day that we had the little argument. I'm going to call it a little argument. Is that I was getting ready for a convention and he said he was going to take me in the morning. We wake up around at 5 o'clock. I think I'm doing good on time. No, I'm not. I am totally not. It's getting really close to when he has to start work. I'm not realizing I'm already over on time. So even if he goes and drops me off, he will be late to his job. And I would never want him to be late to his job because he's one of those A students where he is always on his job, always on time without a shadow of a doubt. He's one of those. And I love that about him. So I, in my sometimes irresponsibility, will not bring him in so he can stay in his responsibility. Because that's my responsibility, if that makes any sense. It's my accountability. So we had this situation. He came in and he's like, well, we gotta go now. And I'm like, okay, just give me like a couple more minutes. And so a couple more minutes ended up being another like 15 minutes. 15 minutes being when I walked outside and I sat in the car. It said in the ETA 7:06, and I was like, there's no way that he's gonna be able to take me and be back home on time for his job. So you know what? You don't have to drive me, baby. It's all good. You want to explain how you responded?
I responded in frustration because I had woken up to meet your request of taking you to your convention, and it did not go that way. And with it not going that way, I was kind of frustrated because I could have went back to sleep if this was going to happen for at least another hour.
And he was frustrated, but I'm gonna tell y'all what he did do. So I had 3 requests of him. Was can you take me? That was 1. Second request is can you grab me a coffee from Detro's? That was 2. The third request is baby, can you make sure I have warmed up pasta that's in the fridge in the morning for breakfast? That was 3. He did 2 of the 3 things. I wasn't going to fault him for my irresponsibility though. And I could understand his frustration. And then I asked him, I was like, but my question now is, why are you taking that frustration out on me when I've actually taken responsibility and ownership saying I'm sorry and I will have no issues taking myself, which also means.
Good night, insurance agent.
Good night, Brennan. So I was like, I'm not going to fault him for my irresponsibility. That's not his. But I had to ask him, I was like, now my question is, why are you trying to project your frustration onto me? We're good. We're fine. It's the beginning of the morning. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful that you got me coffee. I'm thankful that you got me food so I could eat something. And I asked him, I was like, why can't you see where I'm thankful at? Why can't you even accept my gratitude in this moment? Y'all, sometimes it can get deep. It can dig deep. You guys can't both get frustrated at the exact same time. And if you do, one of y'all needs to get act right as soon as you can, because that frustration can disintegrate the relationship if y'all both stay in it. So that's what I can say. And like I said, at the end of that conversation, he asked, are we good? And I even asked him, I was like, are we good? And we said, yes. We kissed, we made up, and all the in-betweens. I left for my conference. It was a great day. Then I found out why I had to drive myself, and it was because someone was having a prayer, and Sharente was there to answer that prayer. And I'm thankful that we were able to work it out in our relationship, and I'm thankful that I was also able to now, even in my irresponsibility, everything still worked out perfectly and worked out in the way that it needed to for the day. So that's what I can say. And that was a disagreement. So I hope that helps. Okay, just make sure I don't miss anything in the clubhouse room. Okay, we're at 41 right now. Sance, is there anything you want to add? Any other questions? And hi to I Heart Taylor Swift Forever. Hey, hey.
Shout out to Taylor Swift for getting down at the Grammys. We saw that she supports the culture and we support her. That was random, but I will
Did I hear booing?
I was.
No, we all good. Not like us took home 5 Grammys without even trying.
We're supposed to be
It's all
practicing
good.
active listening and supporting my decisions. No. But what I will say is, like, I really enjoy seeing this on camera because this really is a healing for me, like personally, because my personal experience, like, is I'm seeing this very personal. The type of questions that were even popping in my mind that I wanted to ask you, I'm like, hold on, remember, because I told y'all earlier when my acronym for how to live: listen, invite, verify, and express. So I listened to myself, and I had to invite that and verify if that's really something that I wanted to ask, and why was it popping up. But to see, like, number one, Black love, I love that because we don't see it enough. And then to hear y'all story about, oh yeah, this what happened the other day, and then to see, like, when he said that, I felt it. The hair on the back of my neck stood up, like, and that Arthur fist came out. It was like I woke up, and then you made me go. You said no. But to see that, and then to see how you guys work through that, I think that's one of the most refreshing things, because we only know what we know. And as a man, I see me. I don't see the other side. I don't get to hear, all the time what a woman is thinking and what she wants to express. And seeing this right here, I get both. I'm like, oh yeah, I can relate to both of you, like, because you're willing to share and you're open. So kudos to that, and the fact that uh, y'all have been working on y'all emotions. Because one thing I wanted to say was, like, first of all, Shrinte, you got energy and attitude. And I was like, you had to have worked on yourself, because the way you asking the questions allowed me to actively listen. Because if you was asking them with a little bit more attitude, the listening, the active would have been there, the listening wouldn't have been. And I think that's important too. Like, we are actively listening, but maybe there's an active expression that we need to be talking about, because you can't just be yelling at people and then expecting them to be able to take all of that in and respond. It goes both ways. To actively listen, you have to be expressing in a way that allows that. And that yelling and argumentative tone shuts down a lot. And so the hearing the way that you said that was like, okay, that actually, if you say it to me like this, I'm gonna listen. So I am now seeing, on my end, for me, what I would like to receive, yet also seeing that it is probable that it's out there. We just have to continue to do our work so that we can, attract that to us. But I just really wanted to say, like, seeing you two live in action is like has been is meant the most for me. So thank y'all for being open, transparent, loving. Uh, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for the kudos. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the appreciation. Thank you for the questions. And I'll also say this is I am not a perfect peach. I straight up, I'm gonna say that now. So in that moment, my voice did elevate. In that moment, we were having a screaming match. In that moment, it was very passionate. So I really want to make sure that
Oh
I
yeah.
express that, because y'all don't get to see that part of us. And I really want you to know that we are just like everybody else. We just figured out how to come back down and to have that active conversation after, even if we are too passionate to hear each other. But like I said, one of y'all has to snap back to get back into that calm, because it's the person that's in the calm that can anchor the other person back in. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can say is different. But if you are in from a hurt place, it's going to be really hard for you to anchor, because you don't know where to drop your anchor. I forgot. Sorry, here. Now my glasses are saying power off. Okay, it said deuces. Okay. So I will say this is that I'm gonna say this again because our time is about to be in our close. Is love healthy relationships are not just possible, they're highly probable. And I keep saying this over and over again because this is what Love Fest is all about. This is the undertone that's going from conversation to conversation to conversation to conversation. Is that healthy relationships do exist and that they'll appear to you when you're ready for them to appear to you. But when you're not ready for it, you might see more, I'll say, toxic relationships that mirror your own without you even realizing it. So be mindful of that because toxic relationships and healthy relationships vibrate on a different level.
Mhm.
And you normally match energy with no matter where you go. It's like equal signs, equal signs, equal signs, equal signs, equal signs. So be mindful of that. And it just be I'll also say this, and a lot of couples are very hush hush. So you might think everything is peaches and cream. Next thing you know, 6 months later, they're divorced. And you're like, what happened? I swear for God, y'all were good. Y'all were good. Like make it make sense. Make it make sense. So I will say that as well. And
I got one
also,
for you.
let's see here. You said say yeah, yeah, yeah. Now me wanting to think now, okay. No, Sharente, don't sing the Yang Twins. Don't sing the Yang Twins. 1 second. Woo! The way my brain is set up, y'all. When they say, can you say yeah, yeah, yeah? I was thinking, oh, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm thinking. But you think I think y'all know what the song is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hey.
I told y'all my brain thinks in songs, and thank you so much. And I'll say this: every award show, I wish everyone could win something. At the exact same time, I know every year the reward is meant for who it's meant for, and the next time that they go to that award show, that award might be meant for the next person at the same time. So that's what I'm going to say about the whole Grammys thing and all that stuff is that everyone is allowed to win. It's just other people's time sometimes.
The only valid win was Kendrick.
Tyrus, we're not talking about valid because that's perspective. And I'm not saying that it's wrong.
There we go.
But it is perspective. And that's say if someone else said they don't like that, then their perspective is also valid and it's also truth for them. For me, respect on K Dot's name. For them, it might be disrespect on K Dot's name. There's polarity in everything. There are two sides to everything.
We shall not.
Like there's two sides to love. There's two sides of a coin. There's two sides of a dollar bill. There's two sides. And there is a way to meet in the middle. But to meet in neutrality, you have to heal in the first place. So, with that being said, my question to Malika, if she's still awake, is who am I passing the mic to next? Because I kind of forgot. Okay, I'll pay attention so I know when they're here. Okay, so anything else I want to share? Let me think. Okay, thank you so much, Taylor Swift Forever. I will say sometimes people do separate, and it has nothing. When I say nothing, I truly do mean majority of the times. I'll say 95% of the time, it's nothing to do with the kids. And you're like, well, what are the 5%? I'm not going to go into that 5% because that's a longer conversation, and we don't have enough time.
And that requires other variables.
There's so many other variables, so many other ones. But 90% of the time, it literally the parents had the problem before the child even existed, and then they had a child, and then those problems were now surfaced even higher because there was already gaps, and now they were truly exposed and magnified. So I want to make sure that you know from the bottom of my heart, from me to you, this has nothing to do with you. I don't know if you got here. A lot of kids take that onto them, saying the parents separated because of them. Please don't internalize that. They're doing what's best for them so that they can love themselves in their fullness and love you in their fullness as well. And sometimes that means they have to be separated in order to do so. And I know it might feel weird at that during this time, but know that it's the best possible outcome, and everything's going to work out. I can't say with themselves, but everything is going to work out, and you're going to be okay.
And judge everyone by their actions, not their words.
So we just want to make sure that we say that, and we're sending love to you and your entire family at this time as well. Checking the chat. Okay, Sance did his thing. Leroy is available at Royal Mac TV on all social media platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Royal Mac TV, Facebook. It's his whole Johnny Cochran, but y'all ain't gonna get that. Nope. Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. Okay, primarily YouTube in the name because we want to get him further. Absolutely, honey pie. Absolutely. Because not everybody gets someone to tell them that they have nothing to do with the problem that their parents already have. A lot of people don't say that. So thank you for even being open enough and vulnerable enough to share that with someone online. And I thank you for trusting me and trusting us to provide you some love back. So we were saying thank you. Back to you. So I'm gonna open up the floor one more time just to see if there's any other questions that we can answer before we totally because I believe we're almost at I think we're almost at the 2 hour mark. Are we not? Am I wrong? Am I seeing the time wrong? Wait a minute.
We're at the 2 hour mark.
We're almost at it.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost at it. Oh my God, 2 hours flew fast. Mm-hmm. So fast when you're having fun.
Yes, it did.
Yes. So I see Mick is up in the house. Cindy Lou is here too. Any other questions? Sance, do you have any other questions or closing statements, sir?
No, just that you can find me on IG, Mr. Inspire _1295, or you can visit our website, www.lifeinspire.com. Leave your information. We got a magazine that we do monthly, and our brand is all about, and I'll say this today. So they're getting rid of DEI. However we feel about that, but we've created, again, because we're the brand of acronyms, we push UEI, which is uplifting, empowerment, and inspiring. So everything we do is about that. So if you need to be uplifted, empowered, inspired, come find us. And we got great merch that says that too, because we're living inspired every day forever, because that's life, and we want you to do the same.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing where people can find you and what you're up to and how you are being a part of the solution in the name. I love to hear it. Is there any closing remarks from you, Leroy? Because I'm gonna release you after this because you go to sleep.
I have nothing. Not really. But this has been another great year. For all you guys listening and all you guys viewing, thank you again for showing up. Hope you've enjoyed spending time with us for these 2 hours. Sance, thank you for joining us. Conversations have been fun. And that's about it. Okay, I leave it left to you, baby. Lead us all the way home.
I will definitely do that. Just so you guys know, we actually will be starting up House of Cards again, where we'll be talking about relationships. I know, right? And the different facets of it. We'll be talking dating, we'll be talking marriage, so that not just the people that are currently in this space can grow, people that are more farther out can grow as well. Because at the end of the day, is that we have no issues opening up ourselves and sharing this with you. And we do this because we know it helps. And I'm also going to say this: we don't share anything that we haven't already healed from. If we haven't healed from it, we do not even mention it. And we don't mention it because it's still a trigger. And if it's still a trigger, we need to dismantle that off camera because I'm not going to be someone's drama for them to go tell their mama. I refuse to be that. So, with that being said, we're doing the House of Cards, and then two is I actually like I'm literally almost finished with our financial compatibility checklist ebook. It literally is an ebook where we literally share parts of our story to help you grow in your relationship with your partner, whether you're dating, whether you're married. We just want to make sure that you have that support, you have conversation starters on the good foot and not the wrong foot when it comes to finances, love, relationships, health, and ultimately all of your wealth, which is all connected in the same. So I just want to thank you guys for rocking with us. Leroy, I love you. Good night. Go. This is me sending you off. Bye, baby. Bye, baby. You can go. Good. He's like, I'm gonna lean over. I love him so much. I'm starting to see some of my beautiful people in the audience or in the building. There is one I'm waiting for, number two in the name, because we're about to transfer it off. If you want to continue with Love Fest, in the YouTube description, you will find the Clubhouse house where all the links to the rest of the 24-hour live stream is going to be available. It's in the YouTube description. If you're currently in the Clubhouse room, please know this is only I believe 1/4 of the rooms. That means that this block is going to end at a certain time, and then it's going to move on to the next block, aka the next link. But you should follow Malikia K. Courtney, aka Santa's Helper, on Instagram, as she's going to be keeping you guys updated. Yes, she's going to be at an in-person event, but the way that Malikia works, she's going to keep you in the know. Even if it's someone else that got her back, though, because we're all about supporting one another. We're all about loving each other, and we all believe in and beyond. But it first starts with us. It first starts with self mastery, and it first starts recognizing that at conception we were worthy. At conception we were perfect. At conception we were a masterpiece, and nothing changed since conception except your perspective. So change your perspective and change your life, and choose love. Choose you. Choose what's right. And now I'm going to pass the mic to the next one. Is that right, Miss Malikia? Is that how it's going to go? No? We're going to hold it for a minute? Okay, we're going to hold it. Steady? I got it. Okay, passing it to Malikia. In the name. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys hearing me. That was an amazing conversation. A lot of awesome tips and just how transparent and vulnerable you guys are. It's beautiful. And Sance is, like I said, a 90-year-old ancestor just crawling off the 80-year-old body clearly. So I really greatly appreciate all the wisdom bars that you drop up in here too, sir. Thank you and welcome home. Thank you so much. Now let me end the live stream for us, and I'm gonna listen in to the fuss for the next chapter. Bye, y'all. Bye.